So my name is Claire and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this, and it's the crown that Thranduil wears for the Hobbit. And I know it looks quite complicated, but it really isn't that hard, especially once it's broken down. But just in case you would rather win it, Make are going to be raffling this crown, so if you want to win, you can subscribe to Make and then leave a comment, and they'll be picking a winner on the 4th of April. So yeah, you can win that crown hopefully, but if you would rather make it, then I'll be showing you how to do that now.
So the first thing you're going to need is pliers, some thick wire and then some gardening wire. I'm going to be using the thick wire as a frame because this is what's going to hold everything together, and I'm just going to check and make sure that it fits around my head and make sure that it's the right length. Once I've done that, I'm going to cut it down to size. Then I'm going to take the gardening wire and I'm going to create a C shape right behind where the ears would fit, and we're going to create lines which go straight up into the air. And I'm going to get the wire and keep wrapping it round and round, creating all the different leaves and branches, and you're going to want to check a few times just to make sure that it fits right on your head, because it can be very easy to start, finish and then realise it doesn't actually fit on your head. Once you've created the first loop down, keep doing that, wrapping more and more wire around it, and you just keep adding on little branches. You want to make it quite thick because if it's too thin it's going to be very weak and too delicate, so get as much wire as you can and wrap it round, and do it like this because that way later on when we put the glue on it, it's going to look more like a branch than if you do it any other way. Creating the loop on the other side, and you want to check every few minutes again just to make sure, because it's very easy to get them a little bit wonky. And then just get the wire and keep wrapping it around and keep making little stems which just come up from it. Now that I've finished making the frame, I'm just going to make sure that the actual tendrils sticking out are going to be the right length. So I'm going to straighten them all out, and then I'm just going to check and wear it on my head and make sure that it's the right length, and just cut them down to size if they need to. If you think you want to add a few more branches, it's very simple. Just take the wire, start at the very base of the crown, and then wrap it up whatever's sticking out already, and you can just add on as many branches and sticking out twigs as you want. Before I put the glue on it, I'm just going to check one more time to make sure it's the right height, and if anything needs adjusting, I'm going to adjust it now. If you start putting the glue, just make sure that you've got something protecting whatever surface you're working on. I'm working on my carpet, so I have a spare piece of carpet protecting it from anything like spray guns or glue, and I'm going to take the glue gun and I'm just going to cover the whole thing. And it's very simple, just start on one side and just cover it in a wiggling movement. It will mimic the shape of a branch or bark, and it will look a lot more realistic than if you just do little blobs. So just wiggle it down one side, and then once you've done that, turn it over and do the opposite side. It's built over a wire frame. If you need to make it a little bit smaller later on, it'll actually be very easy. You just squeeze it together a little bit more, and the wire will still hold a shape and the glue will bend with it, so you can change it a little bit on later on if you want. Now we're just going to spray paint the whole thing, and you're going to want to do probably 2 or 3 coats. I needed to do about 5, and you want to change the direction you spray the paint just to make sure that you cover everything. I'm going to be using a few dried pine leaves, and you want to pick some pine leaves which are flat, not splaying out in all directions, just simply flat down with the leaves pointing out, because they're going to be the ones most like the crown. And if they have any seeds on them, just pick them off, pick out the ones you want which look the best, and then I'm going to spray paint them a coppery red, and you're going to probably need to do about 3 or 4 coats for this. Once they've dried, I'm going to start attaching them to the crown, and you're going to need 3 different things for this. You're going to need a drilling tool, you're going to need some tweezers, and you're also going to need some super glue. First things first, I'm going to take the little drilling tool and I'm just going to make a little hole at the base of each one of the sticks which are sticking right out, and then I'm going to pop the leaves into that. Now you could technically just stick it straight onto the crown, but if it's got something to slot into, it's going to be a lot more secure. And then I'm just going to attach the end to the very end of the stick which is nearby and make sure that it's all glued down firmly. And then towards the front of the crown, you just want the leaves to get smaller and smaller.
So that's how to make the final crown. I hope you liked it, and the good thing is that because it's built over wire, if you want to, it's very easy just to twist it and bend it a little bit, obviously not too quickly otherwise the glue could snap, and then that way you can adjust it to your head size. So if it needs to be enlarged a little bit more to make space for the wig, then you can do that.